Let's look at some r/RuneScape while I do some fishing. Because Reddit is the best place in the world. Hardcore Iron Man died for the last time fighting against a wyvern in the wilderness. That's one thing, like, you can still die in the wilderness. Like, it's still pretty dangerous. Stop saying they did PvP dirty. People are acting like Jagex abused and did PvP dirty, and it's nuts. It hasn't been PvP in years. It's just been PKing. It's like people don't actually want to PvP. You can still PvP, you just have to do real PvP now. People have to opt in, so you can't kill people with no interest in fighting you. PvP isn't broken, it's fixed. So you have to fight player versus player with people who want to, instead of just hunting defenseless skillers who didn't even bring armor in. Go out and learn to really PvP, or get over the fact that you have to find a new way to grief people. Dang, big true though. Like, they didn't like remove PvP entirely. It's just like, now you have to PvP against people who actually want to PvP, you know? Or now you have to PvP against people who you want to PvP, you have to PvP with PvPers, right? You can't just go out into the wild, find some dude who's wearing nothing and kill them for no reason at all. like I guess the only reason why people would, you know, want to feel that way, I guess, is like, there is the off chance that you do happen to, you know, take someone out and get something really nice, like a skiller or something, but yeah. Don't we literally have the duel option anywhere in the world if people are so keen on PvP? They want targets that don't fight back. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what they want. What's funny is, like, you know, I saw a lot of people hating on the update, like on Twitter and stuff. And then when I went into their account, their entire account was just OSRS stuff. Which is, you know, fine and dandy. You know, I don't have any animosity, like, you know, I play OSRS. But, like, this doesn't affect OSRS at all. Like, this is purely for a RuneScape. Like RuneScape, the main RuneScape game, the game that is called RuneScape. Like, it doesn't affect OSRS at all. It might hurt their pride, I guess, like, in a way, but I don't know, man. I don't PvP, so this isn't coming from someone who is salty that they can't attack unsuspecting targets trying to do whatever they're trying to do. I think part of the frustration with the changes is that the Wilderness system is iconic to RuneScape, and a hell of a lot of people still play this game to do so. To play this game due to nostalgia. So removing something that is a core part of what people remember the game being about growing up feels wrong. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, why? You know, like, you still have the opportunity. Like, you still have the opportunity to do that. It's just only... It's the people... Like, you still have the opportunity to do that, right? For the people who do warbands, you can still PK people who do warbands. You can still PK people who do cursed energy. You just can't PK people who are just, like, running around trying to do a quest, or trying to fill a Slayer log, or trying to do, you know, some more other sort of thing. Like, it's just kind of optimized in a way. Yeah, and, you know, that's mostly like a select group of people. Like, I know, like, I agree that PKing and the wild being a thing is nostalgic and, you know, has been part of RuneScape for so long. But that's all it is. Like, all it is nostalgia. And I feel like if a game runs on pure nostalgia, it never gets better, in my opinion. Like, there's always room for improvement. And if you're going based on pure nostalgia, the game is never going to improve, and it's just going to be the same thing that it has been because it's based on pure nostalgia. Like, hasn't been a part of RuneScape since Evolution of Combat. Yeah. Which, you know, most of the people who do PKing and PvP, they haven't been doing PK or PvP since Evolution of Combat. So, I mean, there's a very, very select few who still do PKing and PvP with Evolution of Combat. But if you look at, you know, if you look at World Select and then you go by activity, if you look at like a PvP server, let's see here. Wait, did they change it? All right. So if you look at like EOC only, right? It's got 176 players technically, right? And then if you look at like legacy only, there's only 40 players. Like 41 players legacy only PKing. 47 players legacy only. 40 players legacy only EU. Like it's not the same as it was, you know, years ago. Most people who play RuneScape now, I feel, are just like, you know, they have EOC and they just run with it. Plus, I mean, me being me, I'm more of a PvE-er. Like, I like the PvE aspect of the game and games in general. I still have yet to get into PvM. I never got into PvP. Like, I'm not a big PvP person, so most of what I have to say about this is from the point of view of someone who does not do PvP and prefers to do skilling and questing and you know, things like that. So, you know, take that with what you will, I guess. I'm definitely not the authority when it comes to PvP related stuff, but you know, if I just look at the world sizes and everything, you know, OSRS isn't affected, and people who love nostalgia normally go there anyway. Yeah, yeah. Like if you want, honestly, if you want real nostalgia of RuneScape, go play like a RuneScape Classic private server. That is the pure nostalgia. Like, that's my nostalgia. My nostalgia is, you know, having a sword that looks like it was drawn in with Microsoft Paint, and you gotta sleep in a bedroll. You gotta sleep in a bedroll because your character is tired because they still had some sort of, like, energy system with the game. That's my nostalgia. I kind of agree with the OP on this one. Like, PvP is still there if you want to PvP and want to fight against other PvPers. But if you want to just go around and kill random people who are just, you know, doing random stuff, you still can do that, but only for a very select group of people now. And those are the people who are doing Curse Energy or doing, you know, warbands or something like that. Also, like, the wild is still dangerous. A lot of people say that the wild is not dangerous anymore because there's no PvPing or PKing. Dude, I just went there and I died. Like, mostly because I didn't know that way up north, like next to the bandit, whatever that, the rogue's den. I didn't know that there was like 50,000 abyssal savages apparently. Dude, those things wrecked me. Yeah, dude, I got brutalized by those. I did not expect those at all. If I would have went up there with my hardcore Iron Man, I would have been done. I got PK'd while doing Abyssal Demons with PvP off. So this is like one of the things that I was talking about. Like, you still have to be careful. Because it's still like, it's a new update, you know? I was doing Abyssal Demons when a PKer came up with me with a weird looking summoning familiar. Placed it next to me. When I used Hurricane with Revolution, I hit the familiar and instantly scolded me. I was PK'd for only a couple mil, but I know a lot of people are risking a lot, so beware. Yeah. I kind of talked about this a little bit. this was kind of something that I read that, you know, just be careful with people that have familiars out. And I would also recommend going into the wilderness with auto retaliate off, because someone might, you know, have some sort of way to like pull you somewhere and do some crazy stuff, you know. But if you have auto retaliate off, I think that they won't be able to pull you anywhere. That's dirty. You know what? These are the type of people that PK. You know? These are the type of people that PK. They're the ones who, you know, try to find these ways to get people who don't want to PvP to PvP with them. Which is, you know, all fair, I guess, but that's why there's the new update, I guess. Yeah, look at this. Finally, I can kill Chaos Elemental safely, or so I thought. Dude, it's... Yeah, like, the wilderness is... The wilderness is even more dangerous now, if not dangerous at all. It's even more dangerous. Like, there's so much stuff out there now. Man. We got like Hydrix dragons. I think is this an Onyx dragon? I'm not sure, or just I don't know. Like, yeah, it's like, dude, the wilderness is crazy dangerous right now. The wilderness looks ugly and not in a good way. Honestly, my big gripe with the wilderness right now is that the ground looks very plain. Like, it looks no different than like the top of this hold on. It looks no different than like the top of this deposit box, like this gray bit. It looks no different than that to me right now. Just imagine this gray bit just everywhere on the ground, and that's kind of what it looks like. So I kind of agree that there could definitely be a bit more texture in the wilderness, because it's kind of boring. The ambience and everything is really nice, but the ground is kind of boring. Exactly, right here. Most of the new assets and models are perfectly fine to even great. But there's one part of the new update that makes the entire wilderness look like garbage. The ground's texture. It is. Yeah, most of the ground is an amorphous blob of gray with smudges of slightly darker gray, occasionally smeared on. It's blurry and boring and very unpleasant to the eye. Yeah. Big true, actually. Like, that was like the big thing for me was, yeah, the ground texture was just booty. It looks like a mobile game. Oof.